Hello and welcome to episode 221 of Millennium Movie Talk. I am one of your hosts, Alexander Lamb, joined with another one of my hosts, Michael Herman, who's changed his room,
Hello.
and another one of our hosts, and our final one for this episode, Braden Dixon.
Hello, everyone. I hadn't noticed that Michael had changed his room until you pointed it out.
I noticed a lack of basketball hoop in the back.
Yeah. So for the past year or so, you've seen the other half of the room. Now you get the full bed.
Yeah. So now people can really paint a picture of who Michael is as a person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, degenerate dog like the rest of us.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
It's disconnecting and reconnecting. Now it's reconnected. I don't know what happened there, but are we back? Are we back? Are we still streaming? Oh my god, are we here? Hello. Hello.
It says we're live. It says we're live.
We're here. Okay, cool. That's all right. Don't push the button. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Oh yeah.
So this is a premium live event. It was one of the shorter premium live events, only 5 matches, which we all thought was going to be weird, and we thought we were definitely going to get a cash in because we only have 5 matches. Normally they're 6. They used to be around 8, but then Triple H trimmed it down to 6, and it was better. And we got 5 this time. We thought we were going to get 6 and 5 in a cash in, but we didn't. But it was a pretty good pay-per-view. I'm not going to say it was great. I wasn't underwhelmed, but I wasn't overwhelmed. I was very whelmed by this pay-per-view.
That's very true.
It wasn't as good as Payback, I think. But it was enough in here for I was full by the end of it. I think probably my favorite match was either the Last Man Standing World Heavyweight Championship match, which some people don't love, how Shinsuke lost. But you know, it's Seth Rollins and he's my favorite wrestler, so favorite current.
And they got plenty rowdy with it. Like they were all over.
Yeah, there was nunchucks and there was
nunchucks.
There was a blood like mist in the face so that people thought and that was clearly so that if there was a clip of this and it looked like Seth Rollins' face is fully bleeding, that it was just there for clips later, but that's fine. And so I really enjoyed that match. I also really liked the opening match, which was the tag team championship match, which we got what no one expected, the unlikely duo of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes becoming kind of everyone's favorite tag team now, especially after a wild press conference.
Yeah, you were just showing us the press conference because I watched the match and I enjoyed it. I thought I really was pleasantly surprised at the two of them together.
They have a great finisher together now. They merged the 1D and the Cody Cutter into one, and they had another main event match tonight on Raw where they actually fought KO and Sami Zayn, which is interesting because they're all faces, so all the good guys are going against each other, and it was a good match. It was actually like almost a pay-per-view worthy match that we got tonight. And it ended with them hitting it again, and they called it the Cody.
Love that.
So that was a bit of fun, and yeah, no one thought that match was gonna end the way it did. Obviously, it ended with a bit of interference gone wrong from Judgment Day. You had JD McDonough hit Damian Priest by accident in the leg, and then Cody hit a crossroads on the announcement table that didn't break.
That was disappointing. It was just one of those moments where you're like, "Oh man!"
It honestly looks like it hurts more when it doesn't break.
Yeah, because you just slam onto it. There's no falling.
The one thing I haven't watched it yet, is that because my current favorite Indiana Pacer was right behind the announcers table filming it, and I happened to see his story the other day.
So that was good. What was the weakest match? Oh, the LWO versus the Street Profits plus Bobby Lashley, which they should really change their name to the Hurt Profits or the Street Business already.
Yes.
Or the Almighty Profits. I don't mind. But everyone
Almighty Profits would be good.
Yeah, it was the surprise that surprised no one, which was Carlito coming out as the third man with an awful song that we know Carlito's around for a bit now because they gave him new entrance music.
Why?
I'm not too sure.
I assume like licensing maybe. But
Nah,
like,
just because it's WWE.
so weird.
So they came out. Everyone who follows wrestling knew that Carlito was going to be the third man because they signed him back in June, and he had not appeared yet. So
wow. I hope he was getting paid that whole time.
Probably. Look great as always. Excited for him. Really want him to turn heel on Rey Mysterio and the LWO as a faction turn heel. Because I think that'd be cooler with Carlito as the leader as a heel faction. What other matches was there? Was there any women's match? There was.
Yeah, there was the triple threat.
That was probably one of the better technical wrestling matches, even though I think Charlotte Flair ruined everything about that match.
That's a weird statement to hear.
Nah, Charlotte, the WWE community don't love Charlotte Flair because they keep handing her championships. She will disappear. She will lose a championship, disappear for 6 months, rock back up, and suddenly be in the main event scene contention for
She was like, for what, quite a few years there, she was like the women face of the WWE.
Yeah, but so
I mean, you're Ric Flair's daughter, and like that's like, and you're also incredibly athletic. Like, it
does get you far.
So that I think that match was pretty good. That was one of the better matches of the night.
Had some really good moments.
The LA Knight, John Cena versus the Bloodline match. John Cena's just here to elevate. This whole match was here just to push LA Knight more.
And it did it. The pop off when they finally got a tag.
They got an LA Knight hot tag, which is great. It's just proving why LA Knight should be a champion. And he's the people's champion, and we're going to love him when he finally does it. Also proves why we need to get these fucking belts off Roman as quickly as we can, because we need rotating champions. And we can't just be Seth. Even though Seth's been champion since May, and he's still got the belt, so maybe we can... I don't know, I like what they've done with Seth. Some people hate it. Some people don't like his gimmick where he stands and everyone sings a song in the ring.
I really like that. It's those little elements where... to use their phrasing, they bring in the WWE universe.
Yeah.
And that's what connects it all. People enjoy that. It's an entertainment industry. That's kind of what it's about.
Are people complaining that he's had it for too long because...
No, Roman's had his for 2 years. They won't do that. They won't do that yet. No. I think the whole point of this one was that we'll just have another championship and people fight, but at least Seth defends it every pay-per-view. Without a doubt, he's always defending it. So that's what we like about it, but people think maybe it's time. People also really wanted Shinsuke to win, because Shinsuke Nakamura is now 0-7 in championship main event matches.
Really?
Yeah, but this was his best one, because normally he's not great in the pay-per-view main event. Like, he's a great weekly wrestler, but he's never just, like, excelled in pay-per-view main event matches. And this is the first one he really did, so... I'd like to say... I
definitely preferred him in... Hands up for John Cena's overacting, because it's hysterical.
It's the best, when he randomly finds himself in front of Jimmy Uso and looks so surprised.
Yes, it's so good.
So yeah, no, really good pay-per-view. Not great, but good. I
quite liked it being shorter. I do get where, one more match would have really made it.
Was it the first one that was properly... done under the new owners? Because there was a lot of ads in this one, more ads than usual. There was also the Pizza Hut thing was really cringe.
Oh my god, that was really cringy.
And we never had it that bad before though. Like we had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match, but we'd never had them bring out a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch to the announcers. Like, but we're saying that. Hey, my mate who watches this with me, we both watched that, looked at each other, and went, "You know what? I'd probably order Pizza Hut if I was in America right now."
Oh my god,
it's done its job.
Like that dinner box did look good.
I was gonna say let's not lie. That dinner box for a party, that thing's perfect.
Oh, I feel like a Saturday night Choppy can. If he's watching wrestling, he could probably do one of those.
Wrestling on in the background.
Wings, garlic sticks, and pizza. Yeah. That's the dream.
I mean, that does sound pretty fantastic, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, Michael, you got to look up this pizza box. It's good.
Michael, just look up the pizza box, man. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Michael?
Pizza Hut pizza box.
We are sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Dinner box, I think. Was it dinner box?
Sure.
Look up WWE Fastlane Pizza.
Pizza Hut dinner box. It looks good.
On a massive shout out to the hilarious footage of LA Knight drifting into
and then quickly swapping out of the
into
seats.
Slim Jim's car.
Well, because he was a Slim Jim Battle Royale winner, Braden.
That's it.
So
good fun.
that was so funny when he drifts
that
in.
box
and then
does look pretty good.
Yeah, you fucked that box.
I would lap that up.
3 for 3.
We do that box. It's so funny when he drifts in and then there's maybe 6 to 10 seconds where nothing happens, and it's clearly the driver moving out of the way so he could quickly get in the driver's seat.
It was pretty classic. I'm surprised they didn't just try to do a pre-recorded cut, but I respect for the diving through quickly, which is hilarious.
So yeah, the Fastlane was good, not great. Tonight's Raw was pretty good. We had some good stuff.
I'm keen to watch this match between the Tag and Sammy.
WWE uploaded it in its full to their YouTube channel.
Ooh.
So
I mean, I have Bidge anyway, but they're cool. That's
so
great.
Yeah, it was a good premium live event. One that I haven't been on since I watched NXT, which is like the developmental brand for WWE.
Yeah,
they did buy Michael. Michael's allergic to NXT. Michael doesn't listen to shit developmental
Michael
stuff. Hates NXT.
Anything where they actually bring up new young
they're
talent.
trying to bring up new talent, and Michael can't stand it. That's why Michael left. They didn't. As soon as he heard NXT, he was
bring
out.
in the veterans.
I was sitting here wondering why I seemed so dark.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, I just didn't actually turn my bedroom light on.
Anyway. So NXT had a pay-per-view. They have their own little pay-per-views. We don't really watch them too much. But we watched NXT No Mercy and NXT Slaps. That was NXT No Mercy was a great pay-per-view, and highly recommend if you ever got a spare day to watch NXT No Mercy. Becky Lynch had a really good match in it because she's an NXT person at the moment.
What's with that?
Yeah, they send her down there when they need her to keep busy until her and Rhea are going to fight at WrestleMania.
Fair enough.
So solid, really good match. Dominic Mysterio had a match too to get his NXT North American Championship back. Yeah. It was No Mercy was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen this year. Premium live events I've seen this year from WWE.
I will put it on the watch list.
Quickly, NXT tomorrow night is going to slap because of baseball on Wednesday. AEW had to move their Wednesday show to Tuesday. This is American time, so what would normally be like Thursday to Wednesday for us. But that collides with NXT, and it's going to be also other news in AEW world. Edge signed with AEW, so now Adam Copeland.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've talked. Hey,
Adam Copeland is now All Elite. But his first official match is tomorrow night. And NXT have their show tomorrow night. So, they're not petty. They've only just went and announced that John Cena, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, Oscar, Becky Lynch, and Undertaker are going to appear on NXT tomorrow night. So,
wow.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty great.
For AEW, that's rough.
Yep. You put John Cena on, you're dead. Like, John Cena's on NXT, people watching NXT. And Taker, which is pretty big.
That's
and
wild.
Cody Rhodes has a major announcement. So,
okay.
Yeah, and that's about it for wrestling. Other than Roman's coming back on Friday.
Be interesting to see what they do there.
I hope he enjoyed his annual leave.
Yeah.
I watched Saw X as well. I was going to keep the gravy train going.
I was going to say we want to talk about the new movies
Saw
here.
X.
Saw X.
A week ago I saw it.
Do you remember anything about it?
Oh, I remember it's the best Saw sequel.
Oh.
Probably. I don't think it's better than Saw 1.
Are people saying that?
Rotten Tomatoes would tell you different.
Oh.
It's the only Saw movie that's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting on an 83%. For a Saw movie. Yeah.
I have seen people hyping up this, like the new one. I've seen people being like,
it's great. It's surprisingly great. The first half an hour is a medical drama with Jigsaw. You just follow him kind of get fucked over by scammers for the first 30 minutes in New Mexico. Like, they promise this experimental special treatment, and they get him hooked in, and they do it, and then they just scam him out of a lot of money. And they're really the worst people in the world that do this to him. And that's why this one really works, is because we're watching the worst. It's like why 6 works. Saw 6 works really well, is because we're watching insurance scumbags getting what they deserve. The people that deny sick people insurance, we're watching them. That's why Saw 6 is oddly great.
Okay.
Saw 10, we're watching scammers who scam this old man and many other people before out of a lot of money, promising them hope and life. And Jigsaw goes, no, fuck this. I'm putting you all in a warehouse in traps.
Well, there you go.
And it's great. Traps are great. As a twisty ending, it's not like as Michael's well aware, the Saw movies, they all have a twist at the end, but the twist changes how the whole movie works when they happen. It's like, really, this has been happening at the same time. And that's how the Saw twist normally works. This one was just like a twist to the end of the film. It was just like, you thought this was happening? Nope, this, and then that's.
Yeah, look, some of the Saw twists do get a bit
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, it ranges from like, you didn't think that, you thought this person was dead. No, they're behind it this time.
Jigsaw's got the worst one.
A year ago.
Jigsaw's got the worst one. This happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, traps are great. Favorite traps. The vacuum eye one that's on the poster.
Yeah, I was wondering to ask what it is.
He's got to break all of his fingers. He's got a dial that twists. And it goes 1 notch, 2 notch, 3 notch, and it breaks a finger each time he does it. He's got to break all 5 of his fingers before the timer, or the vacuum suck to his eyes will go, and his eyes will get ripped out and sucked up into the vacuum. To be fair,
I really just want to see what the brainstorm meeting behind Saw traps are.
I actually think
I just want to think it's just a bunch of middle-aged white men that have the most mundane life, but they get into a fucking room and they're like, alrighty, in a fucking maniac unleashed. Yeah.
I actually think it's probably the most survivable out of all the Saw traps we have, because you just crank that to 5 straight away. If I was like, crank them 5 at once. Like, they will heal. Broken fingers will heal.
You can fix your broken fingers. It's not like they're getting ripped off.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's pretty survivable. There's a couple more in the film that are pretty fucked. There's one. Do you want to hear? There's one.
Give it a while. So I will eventually watch it, but
yeah.
There's one.
Skip like a minute ahead if you don't want to hear this.
So there's one. One of the first ones is when he's got them all trapped in the room. Because remember, there's barely any traps for the first act of the film. It's all the like second half.
How long's the movie?
Just under 2 hours. Where she's got, that the kind of the saw rope that you can like it's not rope, it's like wire with the saw. So he So he claims it's the best one to cut through bone. So what he does is he tells this woman she has to put it under her leg, and from her thigh above her knee, she has to saw her own leg off with that. And if you thought that was bad, if you thought that she had to just sawing her own leg off was enough, after she saws her leg off, she has to shove a kind of like a vacuum into her exposed bone and suck the bone marrow. And and in order for her head not to get chopped off, a certain amount of bone marrow needs to fall into a catcher to release her.
Yeah, I'm going back to my previous statement of I'm just picturing a bunch of like middle-aged white dudes that have like little girls that are like lovely daddy's girls, like, go watch the sport on the weekend. They get to work on a Monday. It's like, alrighty, so if we just attach someone's face to some vacuums, and then let's just get somebody else to fucking suck out their bone marrow. Like, that sounds like a good movie.
What else is there? There's one that's in the trailer where the guy's got to cut out a part of his brain, and put it and have it dissolve into acid to release a key. So he's got to he's like, all they've done for him is they've just shaved the back of his head. They provided him with the TV there so he can watch and do it, and he just has to.
So he's got to cut his skull open.
He's got to cut his skull and break his skull, and then grab his brain, not cut his brain, yank it, and drop it. And do that. Who else? There's one where they've got one of the kind of the X-ray or kind of MRI machines pointed at this lady, put on all the way, and it's standing there, and she's chained with her arm and her foot in the chain, hanging midair, and this thing's just blasting her in the face, giving her radiation, burning and shit. And she's got to break her hand out of the chain so she can swing and fall out the way. So her plan is she's got a wrench to break her foot first so she'll swing out the way. And the funniest joke in the film is she breaks her foot, she swings out the way of it, and she goes home safe. And then the machine just goes shh and just points at her again. So that's great. Yeah, they're the traps, and they're great. I had a lot of fun with Saw X.
There you go.
I had a whole thing of popcorn and watched it. I had a lot of fun. It was good. It was good watching him as the main character of the movie in the whole movie. Like he's this is the one he's in the most and he does the most acting in, and he's fantastic. That's Saw X. I gave it I don't know, probably 3.5. It's my second favorite Saw movie, so we like it.
Yeah, goddamn. It's wild that they did one and they were like, yeah, wow, we did it. And then 9 films later, they were like, yep, we figured out how to do it again.
Yeah, I'd say 6 is pretty great. 6 is
I do like the idea of the ones where bad people are getting bad shit.
Yeah.
That's fun.
The insurance people deserve that.
They've all molded into one amalgamation of movies in my head.
Well, the first 3 are like very personal. They're like, it's all about Jigsaw and Amanda and testing Amanda. Then you got the third one where the lady's operating on his head with the shotgun collar. So all of that, and then 4 and 5 go weird, and then 6 is like, yep, we're kind of back to it. Oddly, one of my favorite, people hate 5, but my favorite part of 5 is when they reveal that if they all just worked together, they all would have survived with minimal harm, whereas they all just assume that one person needs to die every room.
Is that like when they have to by the end they have to donate like
10 pints of blood, like 10 pints of blood each, and it's like it's enough to kill or do a lot of damage to them.
And like if everyone worked together and made it through,
it's like if everyone held a piece of the wire, they would have, like, the current would have gone through them, and they would have survived that. The bomb shelters were enough to hold 2 people. All the keys unlocked every collar, so they just needed to get 1 key and then unlock all of them. So stuff like that. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Saw. Oddly enough.
All right, let's take a very quick pause in this very recent stuff, and let's check in with Michael. Michael, how you doing?
Hello.
What have you been watching?
So got 3 things.
Oh,
I'll go through the 2 movies first, and then I'll finish up with Only Murders. So, on the weekend, me and Gemma wanted to throw something on, so we finally got around to watching Elemental, just because it was the first banner that popped up when I opened Disney Plus.
I still haven't done
it. I also haven't watched it yet.
No, it's definitely, like I was saying to Gemma, it's just like, it's not a big thing anymore to have a Pixar movie. It just doesn't feel the same.
It's because they started releasing them straight to DVD or straight to streaming for a bit. And
streaming, look, this is your pretty run of the mill one. It seems like it's got like all those good bits from all the other movies, like Inside Out and stuff like that. But yeah, there's no real villain. I guess she's her own worst enemy in this whole thing.
Classic.
Because she just has to find she has to just find herself and finally accept that she doesn't want to own the shop. But it's heartwarming. Like, you can clearly see what they're trying to, like, message they're trying to send, like equality and stuff. It's a bit of fun. It looks really nice.
Oh yeah.
I gave it a 3. It's not bad. It's not fantastic. I then also the other week finally sat down and watched Dungeons and Dragons.
I watched it again too in this period since we've been gone.
And boy, am I mad that it took me so long to watch that.
It's just fun. That's what
it's so much fun.
It's just fun, and I watch it and I go, you know, I'm so happy they're on location and doing stuff, and there's practical effects.
So good to see.
When I was sitting there watching it, I was like, in my head, I was sort of pissed off at myself because I let the trailer make me disinterested in the movie. Because
We
when
all
it first
did.
got
The
pitched,
trailer
I was
got
like,
us all.
yes, let's go. And then like the trailer came in, I was like, And now I watch it and I'm like, well, fuck you, Michael. Why did you let the trailer get to you?
I agree. Fuck you, Michael.
So yeah, I sat down and watched that. That was a great movie. A lot of fun. Gave it 4.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
There was no real complaints with that one.
Yeah.
So last week, Only Murders season 3 wrapped up.
Oh, how did it end?
Well, don't actually say how it ended.
They caught the killers.
Whoa!
Oh, spoilers. Come
You
on.
you wouldn't believe it.
Whoa! In the Who Done It show, they figured out who did it.
So in a season of low-ish and lows, like the season itself overall wasn't the best. The last 3 episodes were the best because it was like pretty much a return to the best parts of the show.
Nice.
I have to say 8 and 9 were definitely the better of the 2. Episode 9 had like the full like they're putting the board together in their head and and you're seeing all the scenarios that they're finally piecing together play out and like them putting all the clues together, which is great. Episode 9 was my favorite. Episode 10 was a bit of a let down, like because at the end of episode 9 they sort of like, oh, we figured out who the killer is, but then there's a little bit more to it. So like, but like the thing, it's not like you get to the end of the episode and they're really making you sit there and wait for it. And then, as per usual, right at the end of the episode, there's another murder in the building. We get season 4, everybody.
Oh, they're not these rapscallions murder this building, man.
Shut this building down. Still live in this building.
Yeah, can the police just like shut it down?
The thing is, this season starts out with the attempted murder at the start, not in the building, and there is a joke about that. And then about 5 minutes later, a murder happens in the building.
Oh my God.
And I thought that was I thought it was quite funny because they were like, you can't make it. They were like, are we going to make a podcast? And like, well, it's not a murder in the building.
Too many murders.
But they still they seem like they're going back to make the podcast, but then they sort of like touch on it, but they don't have it like set up like as they're doing like this podcast. They're not like walking around with their mics. They're not showing you them recording the podcast and putting things together. It's which
was really like the real the heart of.
It's why we watched today. We're just.
I mean, you give me those 3 and give me the premise that they're doing a podcast. I'm in.
Oh, it's like the three of them are like they're still the 3 of them hold up everything about this show. The chemistry they have with each other is great. The dynamic is great. They're funny. But yeah. That's about it from me, I believe.
Very nice. Well, I've seen on Letterboxd, Alex has watched an absolute fuck ton of stuff in the last 2 weeks.
That's an understatement.
And one of these things that Alex watched, I also watched.
Yeah.
But before we get to any of that, I finally watched Mean Girls for the first time.
There we go. There it is.
There it is.
Man, it's a fun film.
It's fun.
Yep.
But I feel like it's one of those films where like you watch it at the age of 25 for the first time and it doesn't have the effect that it did when you probably watched it at the age of 15 like like others did. Yeah. I watched it at 15 because I had a sister.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it young. It was one of those like
you don't even have that excuse, eh? You got a younger sister, mate. What are you doing? Popping on Mean Girls when you're 15. What are you doing, eh? Eh? Yeah, you take that sip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
You want to know why?
Family friends.
Because there's one night of the year where girls get an excuse to dress as provocatively as they want.
And that's Tuesday.
And on Tuesdays, we dress inappropriately.
Tuesday.
So, Mean Girls. Bit of fun, eh?
It's a bit of fun. Yeah. I really liked it. Looking at it now in a 2023 lens, interestingly, the only person who really says any real problematic shit is Regina George, who is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, bad guy. Everyone ends up being the bad guy, blah, blah, blah.
No, they're all Mean Girls, Braden.
Yeah, they're all Mean Girls, and then at the end, they're not. It's great. But, yeah, they drop a couple of, R words and stuff, and it's like... but it's always Regina. And it's like, oh, can we get away with this being her being a bad person?
Well, you know,
Yeah, we'll
and
call it that.
I think we kind of, if movies are a product of their time, and
Very.
if anything, I don't hate the movie for if they do stuff like that. I just go, I'm glad we've moved on as a society, but I wouldn't negatively rate the film unless it does it in a way that even in the time it would have been like bad. But like it's more of just a reflection to me of how far we've come in terms of tolerance and shit. Whereas like I'm not gonna be like, awful movie. I just go, you know, well done us.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing it. We're getting there. But yeah, I get why it has such a big, massive following, especially amongst our generation who grew up on it. But now let's fly through the movies you've watched, and then we'll pause at the one that I've also seen.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you exactly why I've watched so many movies. I firstly want to just get over Totally Killer. That's a new slasher comedy on Amazon Prime. It's fine. The only joke in the film is, the 80s were a different time. It's a time travel movie. Like she goes back in time to try and stop the murders in order for her mum not to be murdered in the future. Time travel. But she goes back in time from 2023, and the whole joke is like, the 80s things were a bit looser and people say stuff that you definitely can't say now. That's the whole joke in the film. It's someone said something in the 80s that you can't say now, and she goes, she might as well look at the camera and go, what? Like,
it's like, yeah,
that's the whole joke of the film. It's fine. So that was the one I watched. Also like Departed in my downtime wasn't, and Snatch, they're just movies I wanted to watch. All right, me and my mate, we decided to start something, and I recommend everyone should do it with their like significant other or any other friends they've got. If you want to watch a movie, this is the way to do it. There's a website where you can set filters of length, quality, genre, and year it came out of movies, and you click random, and it will give you a movie. Now, what me and my friend do is we randomly generate 5 each. We choose the best one out of the 5, and we go, this is our picks, and then we basically just choose between the 2 we present. It's just a way to watch new things. We skip ones that we've both seen, and if one of us has seen it and gone, I don't want to watch it again, we'll skip that as well. The whole point is just to watch movies that we wouldn't normally watch and we haven't seen. So
that's great.
Just by doing this experiment.
What is this website?
I'll link it.
Nice.
So some of the key ones that I'll shout out were I never saw Holes before. I've now seen Holes.
Holes.
See, that's one I think Gemma wants me to watch with her.
Holes is oddly great. Has everyone here seen Holes?
I've never watched it.
Okay.
I remember always seeing it at the rental store. And
Holes deals with way more themes than I'd expect a movie to deal with. It deals with racism.
A lot of people love it.
Yeah, it deals with like a lot of racism and a lot of like identity stuff. People watch Holes. Holes is oddly great.
God damn.
All right. So Holes
Alex
is one
recommends
of the high
Holes.
Last night was Erin Brockovich. Heard a lot about Erin Brockovich with Julia Roberts. Never seen it before. Now I've seen it. Really liked Erin Brockovich, based on a true story.
Cool.
My camera might fall, but I have to lean in because it dropped. All right. So Erin Brockovich, people watch that. Kings of Summer. This is one I kind of did a solo one night. I got Kings of Summer. I really enjoyed this one. It's about 3 young laddies who decide home sucks. Let's go build a house in the woods. Fun movie. It's got Rico from Hannah Montana.
From Hannah Montana.
And it's got Simon from Love, Simon. The half of it was a Netflix film. It's a rom-com, but not really. It's a rom-com with an unhappy ending. Oddly it's got like LGBTQ stuff in it. It's got like a churchy kind of subplot to it, but it never is in support. It's like it's not like pro-church, but it's also not like anti-church. It's like
giving representation to those people in the community who kind of grow up in that
like
kind of
her best
area.
friend in the film finds out she's gay, and he goes, that's a sin, you're going to hell, because he's been brought up in church, and then immediately like after realizes, no, that's fucked up, I'm like, this isn't right.
Okay, well that's good.
And then we've also been hit with Pain and Gain, which is maybe one of the most insensitive movies ever made. In terms of it's about a real life true crime thing where the survivors and the survivors' family and the people who died families are very much still alive, because it only happened in 2003. Are very much alive, and it's oddly comedic. And the movie's got to remind you it's based on a true story when The Rock is grilling people's hands on a grill outside to remove their fingerprints.
This is the Rock and
Mark Wahlberg one.
Mark Wahlberg, yep.
Yeah. And then we've hit
I remember hearing odd things about that one.
And then we've hit the lows of Monsters vs. Aliens.
I remember seeing that in the theaters as a kid.
Yeah.
How is it now?
Not good.
Is it
it's
bad?
real bad.
Oh no.
And then I watched Snatch by myself. Snatch is really fun. It's by the director of Lock, Stock, and The Gentleman. More people should watch Snatch. Braden.
Yes. We went. Well, no, you went together, and then I also separately went. I went with my pa, because my pa loves a good bit of sci-fi. Absolutely is all over it. I also enjoy a bit of sci-fi. The trailer for this was intriguing. I wanted to know more.
I don't remember a whole lot of it, because it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe even nearly 3.
Yeah. I saw it recently, and I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Basically, all I remember was that the world in this film is fucking phenomenal and amazing, and it's so the movie looks great. The world building's top notch, top tier.
Yeah.
Script and story, not so much. Very predictable.
So we are talking about the creator.
The creator, Gareth Edwards, director of Rogue One, his new movie. That he's written and directed.
Yes,
with co-writer.
I like the direction.
Love the direction. Love the camera work. Love the cinematography.
Would love some writing.
Yeah.
To be punched up.
Basically, I would love to see more in this world. I also feel like this movie has a 3-hour cut out there that we haven't seen. Because
it'd be good.
Because there's a lot that happens quickly. There's a lot going on in the movie. Not much of it's fleshed out. I enjoyed the little girl playing the AI girl. I thought she was one of the best child actors I've seen. This movie
was really good.
Was made on a budget of 80 mil, and you'd think it'd be 250 mil.
It does not look it. These CGI effects in this film.
I heard they got away with it by basically shooting and only doing VFX on, they were like, this is the movie. We have written the script, we're filming this, this is all the movie.
So nothing got left on the
no
VFX.
Maybe written, maybe they So essentially no VFX got wasted.
Damn. I mean, it looks it. That world is so well, there's so much happening in that world. That opening montage, where they bring you up to speed on what this world is.
There's a Blade Runner city at one point, which is really cool. My favorite, the part that I loved, and they got the biggest laugh from me, were the little suicide bombers. They were so funny when they send. They're robots, Michael. They're not like people, suicide bombers. They're like,
no,
we can
they're
laugh.
they're not human beings.
We can laugh.
They're basically
a barrel, metal, chunky boys
with arms and legs.
They're just a barrel with arms and legs. The human goes, go on, and it looks, because it's an AI and it's supposedly got feelings and that. It looks and goes, it's been an honor serving.
And it just does this big run out, and they have this really long extended sequence where you watch it run across an entire bridge.
So funny, and then it just stops,
and it's dead silent. Everything else is dead silent at this time. It's so funny.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, but I thought the writing was the only thing bringing it down.
I just felt like visually, it was a big missed opportunity. Because it for original sci-fi that looked great and had a really fantastic world, I just feel like they missed the mark.
Yeah, that world has so much storytelling potential, and I get where they went with it. I mean, spoiler but not spoiler, like it's honestly kind of impressive to see a character be fridged 3 times across one film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think the first one's enough, and you're like, oh, okay, here we go, and then they do it again and again. But yeah, I thought John David Washington was pretty good.
I like him. Gemma Chan was good.
Yep. Yeah, Gemma Chan's good. And the kid is excellent.
Kid's
but the main thing you will want to see this film for is
it looks
the
great.
visuals. Oh my god, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch like a deep dive lore video on this world, and also like the AI designs and the I forget what they call them, but the like androidy type people. Their design's really cool. Like, there's no denying having a big hole in your head.
Don't you want to stick something through it?
Oh yeah,
so badly. Yeah. I want to like grab a ruler or like a stick and just. I want to know if there's going to be any like magnetic resistance.
Yeah, because there was one point in it where it looked like, I think it was when one of them was working on one of them, and like it kind of looked like there was some stuff going on in there. I don't know. It was interesting. Alex just wants to finger that hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex loves.
I gave it like a 3.5. I thought it was a beautiful mess.
Yeah. Yep. I gave it a 3. Yeah, mainly because it was a beautiful mess. And yeah, it was good fun. It's nice to see original stuff, which is a nice change of pace. And hey, we might get some more now that the writers have tentatively,
but not the actors.
99%.
So we're almost there.
We're almost there. We're this close. But yeah, they had a meeting today, and it's exciting.
And so John Cena also announced, he confirmed that if the actor strike ends, he will. It's like, I'm in the middle of production of a movie I can't talk about, so I will be going back. He was very honest. He literally just said, if that gets sorted, sorry, like I got people to feed. He's like, those people working on that, they've got families. They need to go back to work. We need to get this done. So very honest, very well answered, John Cena.
It's very fair. I think he's in a position at the moment where he seems to be. It seems like he's kind of just thrown in each week just to see, like, because then that way they're not like committing him to any like big long storyline or anything, which is good.
Yeah.
So it leaves him open to get back to work the second they're able to.
Well,
that's it.
That's it. We did it.
That's it. We did it.
We did it.
Another week.
We did it.
Somehow we've done it.
Nice tight 45. We like it. It's
we
good
did
stuff.
it. We smashed it. Good work, crew. Hands in the middle.
Thank you for joining us for episode 221 of MMT Millennial Movie Talk, a movie, TV show, and wrestling podcast.
We have to say wrestling now. Fuck.
Yeah, we do. We actually have to.
WWE MMT.
Wrestling.
Yeah. Just all the 3-letter initials.
WWT.
All over it. WWT. What is?
World Wrestling Talk.
World Wrestling Talk. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Do all the stuff
follow
that
us on
Brayden
your
says to
podcast
do.
service of choice. Review over there if you can. Subscribe on YouTube and all that jazz. Add Michael on Facebook. And as always,
I'm Alex.
I'm Brayden.
And I'm Michael.
And we're out of here. Goodbye.
Yeet.
Yeet.